lot of people say that if you're gonna grind any dungeon, grind this Screaming Cavern, and I would agree with them. Alrighty guys, hey yo, what is up Knights? Aegis Rick here, back with some more DFO PvE, this time on my Asura. Now guys, it's been a long time since I've done an Asura video. Did some back at the Ice Wall dungeon, but now guys, we're level 77, back in the Time Gate dungeon, and we're actually in the last dungeon in the Time Gate, regular dungeon that is, the Awakening, after which we'll be farming Time Break and a bunch of special dungeons to grind to the maximum level. So we're actually pretty close to that end game point. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into here on hard. And if you guys followed the Time Gate story, I think this is a pretty good conclusion. This is the last dungeon, obviously. You can see what the boss kind of looks like. So spoilers there, I guess. But by this point, you guys should be pretty high level if you guys care about that kind of stuff. But guys, I gotta say, a lot of you guys might be wondering why I'm already max level on my Elven Knight for sure, and you guys might be wondering, okay, why are you playing your Asura? You should be playing your monk, you know. You keep saying you love monk so much, and I want to like defend myself right now because you know, I agree, I love my monk and all, but he's gotten to that point. He's about the same level. I want to say they're about the same level, 77, but he's gotten to that point where the monk is having a little bit of trouble now. You know, he's been kind of cruising along without having to get too many in-depth gears to kind of sustain himself. But when they're about the same level, both my Asura and the monk has significantly more trouble. Oftentimes I'm doing these dungeons and I run out of lives pretty much. So why did I even, you know, I'm gonna cast it again just so I blow it up. I do not want this Awakening. I don't even know why I casted it. There you go. Let's get the damage is pretty much the only reason why I like that Awakening. I meant to cast the grab here so I can use this. Okay. But yeah, like I said, you know, I feel like it's a lot easier to play on the Asura, and so we're gonna just quickly level up with this class just because I really don't have to gear this guy at all. He's running like a legacy set, which I got for really cheap. It's level 55. I'm running the event weapon, some other cheap stuff that I've been able to pick up, and it's been smooth sailing since the start. You guys can actually look at the last video at the Ice Wall. I think it's the last one I did on the Asura, and it's just as easy as it was back then. Just because, you know, the Asura kind of specializes at that. He does a bunch of fixed damage, and that damage just so happens to be well correlated with the dungeons he's actually doing. So don't have to, you know, spend very much in terms of gear and stuff. But I feel like the monk you have to take a little bit more consideration in that. If my monk was nearly as geared as, like, say, my knight, for instance, then I wouldn't have to worry about it. And you know, that's coming from a guy who really loves the monk. So I'm honestly playing this class just because it's easy right now, and we'll worry about gearing up later when I have a couple characters at the max level. But anyway, that aside, guys, we've been doing a lot of PvE stuff on Otherverse. If you guys have been following on the stream, we've been definitely doing that, a lot of that. It's my least favorite enemy, like, in the whole game, because he has this skill, that Chilling Pillar. My god, is that skill impossible to deal with. You basically have to be moving before you cast it, otherwise you get hit. Look, jeez, this move sucks. Just have to expect it. Yeah, almost got hit again. Okay, got him with neutral. All right. But yeah, like I said, we were doing a lot of streaming lately. That's why I'm I didn't stream today or the day before, just kind of trying to catch up on the videos a little bit, and you know, been doing a lot of Otherverse stuff. Actually been ignoring leveling for a while, so I've been falling behind on both of my characters. So I'm gonna take some time to level up, and we're soon gonna be hitting the time gate, which I feel is probably the easiest part for me, because then my course of action is not gonna be like worrying about doing quests and all that. It truly is gonna be worrying about using all my stamina and doing all the time break dungeons. That's all I'm gonna care. Special dungeons, that is. So this guy is like attached to me. Are you real right now? Okay. Well, he's dead. Let's hit him with the ghost orb. In terms of my build with Asura, nothing really has changed. In fact, Asura is probably one of the least punishing classes in terms of that. I mean, I know you have infinite skill resets and all that, but you know, you hardly ever had to change your build with this class, just because this class hardly has any skills. I mean, look at this. He has made 2 skill trees. You know, like, you're not gonna mess up your build. You can't even try to mess up your build, really, because you know, you just dump your points into any skill and he's just gonna kill hella. So there you go. But you know, so there's not a lot of consideration on that. Knight definitely is a little bit more more. That's why I just can appreciate classes like the Monk and the Knight a little bit more, just because, you know, this class is too, like, basic. I hate to say basic, as I know people take that the wrong way, but you kind of get what I say. It's like, he's a one-trick pony, I guess. You just use your wave skills and they're gonna do good. Like, there's no builds, nothing to worry about, because they're strong. You're good. Use whatever skills you got. So, and that's proving especially so in this case where we're fighting against Iris right now. And again, spoiler alert on that, where really we're just freezing her and then hitting with any kind of orb, ghost orb. You know, hit her with a grab if you want. I'm finding grab and Agni Pentacle and even the Deadly Enticer not too useful in comparison to the waves, but again, either whatever you want to use, like I said, you're pretty much gonna kill anything. So, anyway guys, we have about half a bar left, so we're gonna go ahead and choose a different dungeon since we just did that one full clear. And in fact, I'm actually gonna use a potion afterwards, but I hear that the Screaming Cavern might be one of the best dungeons for EXP, which I could be doing this on ultimate difficulty and probably not having much issue, honestly. I'm gonna use this growth potion right here. I wonder if I can I use this, please? Why can't I use this? Anyway, screw it, I guess. Do I already have one activated and I just don't know it? I don't know, but a lot of people say that if you're gonna grind any dungeon, grind this Screaming Cavern, and I would agree with them. You get a lot of EXP. It's also quite quick to accomplish or complete the dungeon. But on top of that, I personally think it's a really good dungeon because the boss, Kane here, drops a really good katana, a mist katana, which I know a lot of people like because it has crit damage on it, which, you know, that alone will be pretty much good for any class, even if you're a magic class. Like pretty much any class for the Slayer would do well with that katana, just because crit damage kind of scales on either crit or either crit that you have, either magic or physical. As long as it's a critical hit, it's going to do extra damage. So it's a really good katana, and personally, something I wouldn't mind having. I had this discussion on the stream one time, but you know, we discussed a long time about, you know, what I thought was the best PvE weapon for Asura, because we all can agree that a faster weapon is better in PvP, but you know, that's not so clear in PvE, and I was under the impression, honestly, and I know a lot of you guys, maybe in the comments, you guys can discuss this, but you know, a lot of people will instantly jump to the short sword because it has, you know, whatever, more magic attack and all that. But, you know, various testing aside, and we've actually had a perfect one. I'm getting work right now. And miss, of course. We've had a lot of discussion about this, and we have a perfect event right now to kind of do the proper testing on this. But I'm under the impression that Asura, it does not matter what weapon you use. Like, literally does not matter. If I went and picked up, you know, aside from the lightsaber, because you can't wear it, but if I went to pick up, say, a bludgeon instead of the weapon I have right now, the differences would be minute, you know, to say the least. I'd say it really doesn't matter, and the only thing that really does matter, you guys can see here, I'm actually crushing just as hard. Not nearly as hard because, you know, I don't have the masteries, but, you know, all the same, still doing relative amount of damage here. You know, if you find a good weapon that has good stats on it, like the Mist Katana, like we just brought up, the 17% crit damage, that might be the viable reason as to why you pick that weapon up. But if you find like a good bludgeon, a good Zombato, it doesn't really matter. This is what I'm kind of trying to convince people of. It's like, if you find a good one that has some good stats on it, that's the weapon that's going to be the best in PvE. Personally, you know, I'm using a bludgeon right now, don't even have masteries, and just still shitting on everybody because, you know, whatever benefits that you get from using a short sword, I just feel are pretty marginal in comparison, honestly. So, and that's just kind of my quick little spiel. I mean, this debate could go on forever. I don't really care, but personally, Asura is one of those classes where I feel like weapon is of little, like weapon type is of so little importance on this class, more so than any I can say for any other class in the game. Like, you can justify why you want to use, say, a lightsaber or a short sword on something like a weapon master. Like, that's an easy justification. Like, oh, they have different attacks and stuff. Well, that same kind of justification does not work for Asura. It's like, do you want to cast with, you want to kill everybody in one hit, or do you want to kill everybody in one hit? Like, what? Like, it doesn't matter. Bam. And hopefully you guys can understand that because of the fixed damage and all that. So just try to look for a weapon that Slayer can use and is not a lightsaber and has good some stats on it, and you're gonna be golden. Doesn't matter. But I'd say Miskatana probably one of the better ones that are actually viable to farm. So just a little suggestion. Don't have to listen to me. In fact, you probably are going to tell me off on that suggestion. Go ahead. But that's just what I feel. Anyway, guys, defeating Kane heavily with this bludgeon. I'll tell you right now, this bludgeon is real business. He's dead. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. In the next videos, guys, I don't know which one I'll release first. It'll probably be the Elven Knight first. So in the next video, I don't know what we're gonna play. Maybe we play the Monk again. I'll make a trio thing. We'll do Elven Knight, Asura, and Monk PvE. And then, guys, we'll be doing this before the grand opening next week of the Female Slayer, which I know everybody's super excited for, and trust me, I'll be making videos on that as well. Maybe not as excited as you guys are, but we'll definitely be leveling one up, or excuse me, 2 up, and try to get to at least a decent level to showcase all the skills. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you knights later.